There's no rhyme or reason to the things that I'm talking about today. I just kind of put a list out and kind of wrote a couple of notes down. And the the one thing that when I was um, starting off and learning about ceremonies and cultural things and spiritual practices and whatnot, I'd listen to things that were being said around me, and one of the things that was said was we don't step over anybody. When they're lying down, we don't step over them because we take away their power and depleting their gifts and their strength that they have, and it makes them weak. And the same thing goes with spiritual items and our bundles, our pipes, and all the things, a drum, anything that's we don't step over. We don't cross over those things. We go around them out of respect because we know that we can draw that power from them, and it's I think it's a little disrespectful to those things when you do that. And I just believe in that teaching, right? Some people don't, and that's fine. That's at the end of the day, it's how you feel, right? Just honor your items, and I guess human beings are part of our items and bundles too, right? Storytelling. We can talk about certain things during summer times and spring and whatnot, but when we're talking about spirits, animals, and those things, it's late fall, early winter, and as soon as that spring, the snow starts to thaw, we need to stop telling those stories of the animals. And why we do that is out of respect for the animals, because they have their own voice, and they're able to tell those. We're only sharing those stories while they're sleeping during the winter months, and when we do it out of respect, because we don't want to talk for anyone, and while they're awake. So that's why we do our stories during the winter time, to not offend. At one point, we were able to communicate and speak to one another in the animal kingdom and the plant lives and everything in creation. And that ability had long since left, because we stopped putting tobacco down for those things that the animals allowed for us to keep and nourish us, and to keep us warm. And we use their furs, their feathers, all the things that they allowed us to in our creation story. All they asked was for tobacco, and as time went on, we stopped putting down tobacco. We started taking too much, and we weren't grateful for those things. So they stopped allowing us to communicate with them, and they made it harder for us to hunt them. So that's why we tell those stories anyway in the winter time. Before I went, I go to a teaching lodge and learn from elders. And one of the things that I learned before my great grandmother, Verna Patronella Johnston Nadjuan, passed away, I went to her funeral, and I started to think about the things that I was being taught, and it seemed to all come all at once, and all these things that were being taught to me. And one of the main things that stuck in my head when I went to that funeral was to take your medicine bag off and leave it in the car. Don't take it near the body, and don't touch the body. viewing. And why that is that spirit is so freshly heading to the spirit world, and when you touch the body, they're trying to grab onto your life force. They're not totally ready to leave yet. They're still wanting to be here in this world, in that human form, and so they'll try to grasp onto any type of energy that they can, and if you're wearing your medicine bag, that can I don't want to say zap, but that medicine that's in there, it'll deplete the medicine that you're carrying, and oftentimes leads to depression when you touch the body, because you're still having those thoughts. I'll get into mourning at a different time. I don't want it to get too heavy. Just going by point form in here to talk. I was told when we dream of somebody in our circle, our friends, family, or even if we don't know that person that well, if we dream that they're dying, that we give them a gift. We hand them a gift and we say, I saw this in my dream, and this is how you died in my dream. I was always told to give a gift and put a plate of food out for them, and you extend that I shouldn't say life expectancy, but it helps them to be aware, to be careful of their surroundings and what may happen in their life. It's kind of like a warning, but it's not really. It's just something that you see in your spirit. Your spirit's telling you, I need to tell this person to be careful.
Miigwech to all my Sabe family. Okay, Dr. Ray.